to Sky World. Hey, today we're talking spiritual awakening. So, are you wondering what's going on with that? I am here to kind of share my experience in an effort to help you streamline your awakening process. And I'm glad you're here. So, let's get started. Formation process, right? And it kind of goes in a spiral, right? And so, like say, a year was a circle. So all of the issues that come up in your relationships, in your life, in your emotions, and all of these things that happen during a year, the next year, you're going to hit them all again from a higher level. And then the next year, you're going to hit them all again from the higher level. So the sooner you identify your problems, issues, and shadow work, which we'll talk about later, the easier shit's going to be. It's just the way it is. So, how did I know that I was having a spiritual awakening? For the first year, I did not know. I did not know what was happening to me. And two super really weird things happened that by the second thing, I had become completely aware. So, right? The monkey mind, your programming, and your conditioning. The first time I learned about that, I went and met one of my girlfriends on a hike. And we sat down in the forest, and I started crying. I'm like, I don't know what's happening to me. It's like there's two different me's. She said, I told her, I'm like, there's nothing going on in my life right now. I'm not experiencing any depression, any stress, or anxiety. I'm quite pleased with everything at this point. I said, but I keep telling myself, like, kill yourself, you worthless piece of shit. Like, having these thoughts, and it was my voice, and I thought they were mine. And so, she knew what I was talking about. And this is what helped me at that point, right? She gave me this first. This one comes first. However, you have to learn to recognize your own thoughts and your programmed, conditioned thoughts, and you can't just delete programming and fill it with other conditioning stuff, because that's what I did. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so the personal growth, this will help you identify how to be in the present moment, first of all, right? To even notice that you're having this kind of shit, right? So then the second thing that happened to me, and I happened to be reading this book at that time. The hiking thing was in the fall. By Christmas, these are Eckhart Tolle books, by the way. So we're flying home first class for Christmas. We got bumped up, right? So we're super excited and happy and blah, blah, blah. Gonna actually have a comfortable flight for once. And I sat down in the seat, like perfectly happy and chill. And they're like, oh, alcohol, like free alcohol. And I've never been a big drinker, but I've struggled with addictions, like, for all of my life. But Anyway, so I'm like, ooh, glass of champagne, we're on vacation. So, the minute I took one sip of that shit, my vibration, physical vibration, plummeted. And somebody else's emotional imprint of horrible grief was in that chair. And as soon as I drank that freaking champagne, I started crying. I was hysterical. I was bawling. I was in grief the whole 4 hours, the whole flight. And here we were so happy and excited to be. And my boyfriend's like all pissed. Like it was me. And so those things like did not match. And then when the flight was over, I got up out of the seat and walked out of the plane and went back to feeling all happy and excited like I was when this whole thing began. Right? It's like weird, dude. So then by January, I was like, yeah, I'm having a spiritual awakening. So, recommend those books for your personal growth journey. This is a journey. This is a process. You're never going to be done. You're never going to be finished. But the good news is that you mapped out your spiritual awakening perfectly for you. So just follow the cues in your body, in your mind, and in your life, right? Your triggers are your notification bells that, you need to take a look at something about yourself. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It's always you, and it's never them. So we'll just say that, right? So your soul has custom designed your spiritual awakening, including all the reality tunnels that are sideways, poop loops, things that you get stuck inside. Quests are included. So, it might be the only way that you can learn something is, to mess up and but don't get stuck in that poop loop, right? Once you recognize that you need to hop back on your spiritual reality tunnel, right? So I said your soul custom designed your spiritual awakening. That's just perfect for you. This is true. Or this has been true for me. Anyway, Michael Newton, Destiny of Souls, the second book, Journey of Souls. All right. Why the fuck is somebody calling in the middle of my video? Sorry. Journey of Souls. Destiny of Souls. This will help you understand your pre-life planning and how you chose everything that you wanted to experience, learn, and grow through in this lifetime. I cannot tell you the relief in understanding this. And so I recommend that. I definitely recommend that. So how you know what it is that your soul chose? It's your birth chart, your natal chart, your astrology. And it doesn't matter if you're attracted to sidereal, use sidereal. If you're attracted to Western tropical or Vedic or whatever, there is no one right and one wrong. There's one right for you. There's the rightest one for you, and you might have to go through all the ones that aren't for you to find the one that is for you. So let me make this recommendation, right? Print out a free birth chart offline, Astro Cafe. And, there's just a million. Just Google free natal birth chart, right? Okay, do that. like all of these things that I'm giving you are to help you have a map, right? And maybe save you from some of the shit that I went through. So yeah, your birth chart is definitely a map of your soul's evolutionary intention. This is a book by Jeffrey Wolf Green. It is Evolutionary Astrology. And it can tell you your soul's evolutionary purpose by means of your birth chart, right? This is all up to you to figure out. Your higher self has custom designed this for you, and you need to figure it out. You need to spend some time and energy in figuring it out, but before the world goes completely sideways. I mean, we're like this, but damn. Anyway, so the third undeniable thing that I came, like things that were undeniably spiritual awakening in my life, like when I first began meditating. Started noticing like colors and shapes forming, and then I discovered like I can see right into the astral realm. The back of my eyelids is like a movie projector, and this is where my guides come to communicate with me. It started with angels and relatives. It started with eyes. I learned to recognize people only by their eyes. And I never thought that this could even happen in reality or was even real. And it is so real. So then how I became completely committed to the whole energy is real thing. I went to Sweat Lodge. If you've never done Sweat Lodge, you should. Because the native people work with this kind of stuff all the time, and they can help guide you for real. So I went in Sweat Lodge, and we get in there, and it's pitch black and steaming hot. And so what I was doing is I was like, when the steam wall would be coming at me, I would visualize the molecules that make up my physical body becoming separated just a little bit to make me transparent so the heat wall could move through and not knock me out. And then during that process in that pitch black room, all of a sudden I saw a blazing purple fire shooting up in the middle of our circle in the pitch dark. Like for real. In the pitch dark. And then behind each person in the circle, in the purple light, I could see the shadows of all their ancestors. Right? I mean, like when there's like just undeniable proof, you know, you just have to roll with it. So, I know I just showed you all these books, all these big books. So I have to tell you something about healing and what I was able to heal in myself first. So let me tell you what this is. I was a C student since the 3rd grade. I was always told I was cute and not smart. And so I never actually expected anything from myself, right? Because, you know, I'm just not smart. I'll just have to deal with being cute, right? Sorry, y'all. I'm having a flash. Okay. So, I had 3 learning disabilities. I didn't know till I went back to college in my 30s. And I just always believed that I was dumb. I couldn't read a book. I hadn't read a book since middle school until my spiritual awakening And as I worked through these first two Eckhart Tolle books, after being 40 some years with dyslexia and unable to understand what I was reading, I would like read a page and like I would forget what the thing that started with was, and I would just like read the first page of any book I tried like over and over and over again. I'm like, I just can't read. That was the first thing to heal. Now I have read all of that and way more. So, right, that was my conditioning, believing that I wasn't smart. But it wasn't true. It wasn't true. So as soon as you can recognize your conditioned thoughts, find where they come from, you can heal it, and you can actually really change your life. You have to learn what's yours and what's not, like the airplane example. And when you're an empath and you're sitting there crying and you're like, oh my God, what am I so upset about? Like, oh my God, because it feels like I'm sad. But those were somebody else's emotions that got in my energy field, and I felt them and thought they were mine. Right? So, right? Find your own undeniable truth. So super rewarding. So super rewarding. Right? So it's up to you to follow the breadcrumbs and to do the shadow work. First, learn that there is no such thing as right or wrong. Only light and dark, and only balance and imbalance. You have to learn how to overcome your fears. How I'm learning to do that at this point is I didn't write a script for this video. Every other video that I've made up until this point had a script, right? Because I was afraid I didn't do it right or wouldn't do it good enough or whatever. So you have to surrender control. You're going to have to be okay with not knowing the truth. Don't delete your old programming and replace it with new programming and conditioning that's not really true for you. Please do not do that. You will save yourself so much time and energy. Right? You have to get used to being in discomfort and not run away. And that just takes time and practice. You have to develop your own self-soothing techniques and re-parent yourself. You're not sleeping good at night? Exercise your ass off for an hour in the day and make yourself physically exhausted, and you'll start sleeping better. Like things like that. Like you have to figure this out for yourself. You are the boss of your mind. Well, your consciousness is the boss of you and your mind and your emotions and entities and all of that. You are in control of all of it. Don't allow it. Do not allow it. And learn to recognize patterns. Okay? Learn pattern recognition. Like I said, the life issues that you keep circling back around, just from the next level up of understanding. So, let me see. I think this is all the advice I have for you in this video. So, if you have any questions or want to talk about your spiritual awakening, please leave some comments. We can talk about it. We'll all help each other figure all this crap out. All right? Much love. Peace. So I just want to thank you for joining me today. Please comment with any questions or your own spiritual awakening experiences, and Take great care. Till next time.